All right, so not only were you being picked on in school because they noticed that you came from that, and they got jealous. That's like again, that's if you picked it. And
plus I was in video games too. So.
And then you were on top of that on video games. You didn't play any sports, and Michigan is obviously, or that area, the North Midwest is super sports. So what were the like steps? Because obviously there's thousands of kids out there right now that even though video games are accepted and video games are cool, there are those schools, because I encounter it all the time, right? When I talk to grown people in business that like, yeah, my son won't get out of blah 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 and play video games, and then I tell him this, like, well, esports massive business, blah blah. And he's like, oh, maybe I should play, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's not about the money and it's not about that. If your son was an artist and an incredible portrait drawer, would you tell him to go play sports? No, you would encourage that. You would help them become a little bit better. So how did you cope with that? Obviously going through that, because it couldn't have been easy.
Are you talking about just playing video games casually, or are you starting to actually take it seriously?
Both. Yeah, I mean casually and that, because this is the thing that pissed me off. All right, and this is the thing that has always pissed me off about your situation in esports. Right, one, rich or not, when you get on main stage, dad's money's not going to help you.
They don't buy my skill.
No, like it's just you and your skill. And you can't buy that. Otherwise, I'd be a fucking professional Call of Duty player myself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's what always got me mad. Like, oh, he grew up differently. I'm like, what? Scump grew up way differently, right? His dad was a baseball player, so he didn't grow up poor, and is just his natural gift to be that. Some people who came from nothing, who have become something, like, it has nothing. Once the lights are on, you sit down on main stage, nothing matters but you, your skill, and your ability to compete. So anyway, go on, as you were saying, with the coping of it.
So I would say during that time, when I rewind to middle school, that was when everyone was like still like in their like gamer years, I would say. Yeah. Towards high school, no one really played. I was the only one that would like play like competitively or just like really try to make it. But in middle school, like I was always like that guy, like going really try hard. Like I was like easily like I would just smoke everyone in my school and like Call of Duty free for alls, Call of Duty, anything, or Halo or anything like that. Which is funny because when I was watching one, you're like, I also started like being a sniper too, and I was that kid that I would have in my bio like 83-0, like it's just But no, that's how it was. So I would just be playing Halo and Call of Duty throughout middle school, and just playing just casually. And then once high school hit, I took the leap of faith, as I told my mom and dad, like, I'm gonna go to this local in Michigan, and I'm gonna see what happens, and I'm gonna be a pro. Like I literally told them that, and they're like, okay. I mean, you're making like, do they make money? Like, I'm like I don't know. Like, you make a career off this? And I'm like, yeah. And at the time, that's when I was like Call of Duty Ghost time, the first half of it, and I was like watching like Scump.
And how old were you at the time?
Had to be like 14 or 15, something like that. So yeah.
So you're watching Scump and then play Ghost?
Watching Scump and Crim6 play Ghost. And before that, I was watching a lot of Halo tournaments, because I started like, I don't even know what I started on. It was either I was like sniping for a little bit, playing Halo Reach, Halo 3. I loved Halo 3. I loved Modern Warfare 2. And that was during the time of middle school. So I was like flopping back and forth with my school friends. And from there, I just decided just to take Call of Duty Ghosts, like just play that only and play pubs. And then I would literally meet someone in Clan v Clan from Michigan and then play with them. And then from there, I would find new players and then win locals. And then literally, like in a span of 1 month of winning like 250 series with my like original E6 team.
Which was who?
Myself, Ruiz, Exib, and Cade. We would win like 14 of them back to back to back, and everyone called us onliners. And there was an article saying, "Can we beat Optic Gaming?" And everyone laughed at it. And then first event, my first ever pro event,
which was where? California.
California. We got top 3, and we almost beat them. You know,
you came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I remember clearly sitting backstage with Fat Jack, because he commentated that. I was sitting backstage with Fat Jack, and we were talking about you guys, and he's like, "Dude, these guys came out of nowhere, and they're like making waves." And I look over, and then you're being interviewed. I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "That's one of the dudes," and I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." And then you got up. I'm like, "Oh man, good job." And that's it. You're like, "Yeah, thanks," and just fucking walked away. And you business as usual, right? You had not like you were just there to play. You weren't there to. You were there to compete.
Passion and just being a pure competitor. That's all it ever was for me.
Yeah.